Chapter 14. Duel. As the days accumulate over the summer, Jake's mind slowly becomes more and more blinded by the jealousy of his cousin and the pursuit of power. Amy begins to take more and more of a liking to Rusty, pushing Jake further from his friends, family, and even himself. He is near his mental breaking point, but unable to give up and back away. Jake stands on his front porch, doing pull-ups on the wooden rafters that support his house. His muscles bulge, and sweat pours down his face as he strains to keep pushing, knowing full well that his cousin is still training every day. If that punk thinks he can muscle in on my girl, he's got another thing coming. He may have rallied the rest of town in his favor, but I'm not about to let him pollute Amy's mind as well. If it's a tough guy she wants, then that's exactly what I'm going to become. Everything is pushing me in this direction. Amy, Rusty. Life itself is telling me to become strong. I can't let that smug child take everything he wants. There must be something left for the rest of us. One guy can't take the whole world. It isn't fair. I'll become stronger than him, and teach him a lesson, one he won't forget. K-Dog, Chris, and Gavin walk by, only to see Jake working out. "Dang, bro, you okay over there? You look like you're training for the Olympics," says K-Dog. "It's more important than that," says Jake, straining and doing another pull-up. "What? Is another fair coming up?" says Gavin. "No, the only fair is over with, idiot," strains Jake. "You just going to the beach or something? Want to look buff?" asks K-Dog. No beach." "He's trying to impress some girl, I bet," says Chris. Jake shoots him a dirty look and drops back to the porch steps. He grabs the towel off the ground and walks over towards them as he wipes his forehead. "Did someone say that?" asks Jake. "No, I just figured. I mean, why else would you want to become a stud in such a short amount of time?" "It's a good guess. But it's more of a personal push. A kind of bettering yourself thing. Man, you don't need to become some musclehead to impress a girl. If you have to change to impress her, then you don't need that chick. Just be yourself," says K-Dog. "Yeah, dude. If you change, then what about us? I mean, we like hanging out with the you we know. If you become another you, then we might not like that you anymore," says Gavin. "Shut up, Gavin. Don't try to be smarter than you are," says Chris, slapping him in the back of the head. "I appreciate the concern, guys, but I'm not going to become another person. I'm trying to make a few tweaks, not a complete overhaul." "Well, either way, dude, just be sure of who you are. You don't want to become so lost in this training that you forget about the things that really matter," says K-Dog. "Yeah, like hanging out with us," says Chris. "Don't worry, we're bros. We always will be," says Jake, giving each of them a slap on the backs. "Alright, well, we're going over to Derek's. You down for a game of frisbee golf later?" says K-Dog. "Yeah, I'll probably be over later. I have some laundry to do and some other stuff, but yeah." "Okay, bro, later." Jake walks back up to the porch as his friends walk down the street. "You can't fool me. You aren't going over there to see Derek. You're going over there to hang with your new best friend, Rusty. Innocent games are fun at first, but slowly your minds are going to become poisoned against me. I'll be over, but it won't be to play frisbee. It'll be to take my life back." Rusty jumps into the swimming pool, followed by his brothers and dad. Mitch jumps up and comes crashing down with a cannonball, nearly splashing all of the water out of the pool. "Watch it! You damn near splashed all the water out," says Gator. "Are we grilling tonight?" asks Mitch. "You and your stomach, boy. Damn," says Gator. "He's got a good point, Dad. I am kind of getting hungry," says Rusty. "Damn, you boys are horses. I need to get you out there splitting wood for this winter to pay for all the food you guys plow through." "Them two, right? Not me?" asks Derek. "You eat too, don't you?" "Is that a trick question?" "Look, Why don't you guys just help us mow the yard today so that me and your mom don't have to do the whole thing, Gator says. K-Dog, Gavin, and Chris walk into the backyard while he's talking. Hey guys, what you doing? Asks K-Dog. What does it look like we're swimming? Mitch says. Oh. Well, we came by to see if you want to play some frisbee golf or something. Or maybe some lawn darts or 3-on-3. Maybe after a while. I kind of just want to relax and soak in some of this sunshine, says Mitch. I'm down for it. What about you, Dad? Derek? Says Rusty. Maybe later, says Derek. Then it looks like it's just the four of us. Jake might be coming over later. What about you, big man? You care to even up the odds? Chris asks Gator. Frisbee golf? Yeah, sure, why not? Says Gator. I'll show you kids a thing or two. The Rigsbys jump out of the pool and dry off. The five of them walk out into the field and set up the course. Jake comes walking up the street. Alright, once Jake gets here, we'll start, says Chris. Nah, he can jump in the second game, says Gator. Alright, we'll go quickly. I'll try to beat the tar out of you guys as fast as I can, says K-Dog. K-Dog throws the frisbee to the first target, stopping just short of it. He picks it up and barely tosses it to hit the tree in 2 throws. Chris overthrows and makes it 3. Gavin takes 4 hits, and Gator manages to hit his in 2. Rusty steps up next, hitting the tree with his first throw. Jake walks into the yard, seeing the others playing without him. Figures, they didn't even think about waiting for me. Enjoy my friends while you can, Rusty. Soon they're gonna be mine again. Then you can go and get your own friends. Jake walks up to the pool and strikes up conversation with Mitch and Derek. You guys not down for the game over there? Asks Jake. Nah, too much running around for me. I'm tired and I just want to lay here on this raft and relax, says Mitch. That sounds like a good plan. Well, do you guys want to play some NBA Jam later? Asks Derek. Probably not. I don't really feel like being cooped up in the house today. Okay, well, maybe another day this week then. Well, I'm going to try to force my way into that game over there. Talk to you guys in a few. Jake walks over to the 3rd hole of the game and leans against a tree nearby. Is this a private game? Asks Jake. Hey man, you want to jump in? Asks Rusty. Sure, I'll take a 3 on the last 2 holes to be fair and caught up. Rusty hits the tree in 2 throws and Jake steps up. Jake looks over at Rusty and grinds his teeth in anger, flinging the frisbee with all of his might against the tree. Jake misses and the frisbee speeds across the road, disappearing into Gavin's yard. Nice arm. Why don't you go get it now? Says Gator. That's a penalty. You're at 2 already, says K-Dog, laughing. Jake walks off, growling with anger. Bastards think this is funny, do they? They'd be laughing real hard if I threw the frisbee at their face. Jake returns with the frisbee to see Kaylee and Amy standing with the others talking. The females have joined us on this lovely day. I bet Rusty's just loving this. Hey Jake, says Amy as Jake walks up with the frisbee. Hey Amy, you come to play too? Asks Jake. No, I'm just a spectator. I'm more for softball. I'm not very good at this game. It's not very hard. Give it a try, says Rusty. Amy throws the frisbee and misses badly. Rusty grabs her hand and shows her how to fling it, managing to hit the tree. Jake turns to Rusty, glaring. Right in front of me? You got a lot of nerve, kid. Jake begins to shake with fury, balling his fists. Kaylee looks over at him. What's wrong with you? Whispers Kaylee. Nothing, growls Jake, still shaking. You know it isn't his fault. If she didn't like him macking on her, she'd let him know. The girl loves the attention. What do you know? Barks Jake. I'm just a girl myself. What do I know? Kaylee growls back. Amy touches Rusty's hand as he tries to show her again. Jake runs over to them and decks Rusty, knocking him to the grass. What the hell is your problem? Shouts Rusty, blood running down his nose. Gator grabs Jake by the shirt. Get the hell off my property, growls Gator. Jake smiles, brushing his shirt off, as Gator lets him go. Fine, I see how it goes. Fuck all of you, says Jake, walking away. Holy shit, whispers Derek. Did I just see that for real? Asks Mitch. Yeah, I think Jake just lost his mind, replies Derek. Amy helps Rusty to his feet. Are you okay? Asks Amy. Yeah, I just don't know what's going on. I'd go talk to him, but I don't really feel like getting a broken nose, says Chris. I don't think he'd hit me. I'll go, says Amy. Jake sits on his porch, kicking a potted plant off the steps. The pot hits the ground and shatters, spraying soil and ceramic shards everywhere. What was that back there? Asks Amy. What do you want? Barks Jake. I want to know why you felt the need to punch your cousin. It seemed like a good choice at the time, says Jake, standing up and walking towards his door. Why are you acting like this? This isn't like you. Not like me? What the hell do you know? You've only known me for a few weeks. If you knew me so well, then you'd know why I'm upset. I get it. If you had something to say, then why didn't you just tell me? You didn't have to hit him. He didn't know. You didn't seem to object to what he was doing. He was showing me how to throw a frisbee. Right, and Hitler was just a sheltered child. Give me a break. You guys were flirting. I'm not an idiot. Maybe we were. Why is that any of your damn business? That's my choice. It's not like we're dating. No, we're not. But usually that comes after an attraction and closeness. Things I thought we had. I do like you, Jake. I'm just not sure what I want right now. I think you know damn well what you want. And his hand was touching yours. Stop acting like a baby. I'm not dating Rusty either. I'm just trying to sort things out. If you like me like you say you do, you'll just give me some space and time to figure things out. Space and time to watch you come over to places I hang out and make kissy-kissy with my kin? We'll never be together if you keep acting like that, Amy says, glaring at him. Jake can feel the anger in her eyes, which only fuels his own anger. He feeds off the emotion unconsciously, and it boils inside of him. Ultimatums, thanks, that's just what I was needing, Jake says sarcastically. You can be a real jerk, you know that? And you can be a trollop, do you know that? Just grow up. Show me the guy that I met when I moved in and maybe things would work out, growls Amy, walking away. Jake storms inside, punching a hole into his wall. Blood runs down his knuckles as he busts them wide open. Damn Rusty. Damn Amy. Damn them all. Pushing me around, acting like the world belongs to them. They want each other so bad, then they can have each other. But I'm not going to let them have a happy fucking ending. If they're going to be a couple, then they're going to have to go through Jake's love obstacle course. I don't like being screwed over. Did you feel that? Asked Danny, taking a break from her drills. Yes. The power, perfect for the amulet, just slipped further into darkness. Bonded with Lord Yamura, he will become this world's new god, Elian replies. If that happens, he'll be beyond anyone's control, Danny thinks, shuddering. I'm all for being at the side of a god, but at what cost? Will he really be able to trust this Yamura? Later that night at the Rigsby's, they cook outside on the grill. Jake walks down the road silently toward the house. He looks into the backyard to see them all talking and laughing around the picnic table. He sees Amy and Rusty shoving each other jokingly. Turning away, he walks back up the road. He reaches Amy's house and walks around the back of it. Hey, guy, whispers Jake as Amy's dog walks up to him. Jake pets the dog for a few seconds, then quickly grabs it by the neck forcefully. He lifts the dog into the air, its legs kicking as it gasps for breath. Nothing against you, buddy. This is a message for your bitch owner, whispers Jake, snapping the dog's neck. Jake returns home and falls to his back, staring up at the sky. He blinks a few times and then something clicks in his mind. His eyes widen in horror as the realization of what he's done sets in. A few hours later, Amy returns home and walks up to her steps. As she reaches for the door, she suddenly screams in horror. Jake looks up, hearing the screams. Oh God, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking clearly. I killed that thing out of anger. What kind of person am I? Amy stares at her dog, shoved into the dog door sideways with a note lying on its back, covered in blood. She bends down and picks up the note, crying. Love demands sacrifices. Did you think that you could jump into it without having to give something up? Think about that. Are you willing to give up more for him? Will it be worth it the next time you find a gift from me? The note reads. "Jake," whispers Amy, crying. Amy cries in Rusty's arms as she tells him what happened. His eyes glow with rage. What the hell is he doing? Has he completely lost it? How could he enjoy torturing her? Especially if he did like her, wonders Rusty. Rusty walks down the street towards Jake's house to find out what happened to him, to make him change all of a sudden. He's going to be coming for me. I can feel it, thinks Jake, sitting up quickly. As Rusty nears Jake's house, he stops as Jake walks out to the road in front of him. "Nice evening, isn't it, cousin?" asks Jake. "No, it isn't. And any family of mine wouldn't act like a monster. Who are you?" "Who am I? I'm the guy you and that bitch fucked over. You knew I liked her, and you still had to muscle in and take her. Just like you've taken everything else from me. You've taken my friends. Everything." "Man, you're not making sense. None of us are doing things to intentionally hurt you. Sometimes things just work out that way. You can't blame people for their feelings. You're going to come here and try to wax philosophy with me? You, a little runt, are going to talk of things such as love and feelings with me? Go back home and go to sleep, you little bedwetter. When you grow up, then you can talk to me like an adult." "Like you're being an adult? You're being a selfish little kid. You can't get what you want, so you have to make others miserable. Shut your fucking mouth." "Oh, did I hit something? I must be on the right track." "You weren't satisfied with being strong or fast. You had to try and take the only things I had going for me in my life away. My friends. But now they like you more. Amy. And now she can't even stand me. Anything else you want? Do you want my stuff? How about my house and my parents? Or parent? The other one's gone. What, you want my soul too? It's not like it's gotten me anywhere anyways." "What are you saying?" "Oh, don't pretend to be an idiot. You know damn well what I mean. I've lost it all and now I don't care. Take whatever you want, because right now I have nothing left to lose." "You haven't lost anything yet, but if you keep acting like this, you will. Your friends still care about you, and so does your family." "Family? You're going to talk to me about family? Family doesn't steal each other's girls." "She wasn't your girl. She wasn't anyone's girl. She's Amy, and Amy makes her own decisions." "Right. Whatever helps you sleep at night." Jake begins to walk back towards his house, but stops as he hears Rusty following him. "What the fuck are you doing?" Jake growls, pivoting to face his cousin and balling his fists. "I'm not finished talking." "You're a bold little shit," Jake laughs. "I don't want you to keep this up. You're going to a place where you can't come back from." "Oh, because you care about me, right? Well, cousin, you know what? I don't give a damn. In fact, I think you need to go to hell because I don't give a fuck what you think." Rusty grabs Jake by the shoulder as he tries to walk away again. "I've told you before, don't fucking touch me." "Jake, get away from me," screams Jake, backhanding Rusty. Rusty hits the pavement and skids back, ripping his jeans. He shakes his head and looks up, a black mist surrounding Jake. He faintly sees the color around his cousin, but his awareness is still undeveloped enough to see the true extent of the aura. "I don't want to see you, hear you, or smell you. If I even sense you're around me, I will kill you," hisses Jake. "Not only will I kill you, I'll kill her just to hurt you." Rusty leaps into the air, decking Jake. Jake flies off the road and crashes against a neighbor's car, denting it and falling to the gravel. He rests on his hands and knees as blood hangs from his lips. "Good idea," whispers Jake. "What?" pants Rusty, his arm still extended. "A duel. I win, then you have to stay away from Amy and me forever, and I keep harassing whoever I want. You win, and I'll stay away from you both and never bother you again." "I don't want you to go away." "That's not an option. Tomorrow night at the elementary school. Midnight. Bring whoever you want. No weapons. Just fists and feet. We go until one of us can't stand." "Jake, do you accept or not?" "No, I don't." "Then I'll see you and Amy later." Jake walks away. "Wait!" "What?" asks Jake, turning back around. "I'll do it. I'll fight you. Just don't hurt her." Spoken like a man in love. How beautiful. See you at midnight. Rusty lies awake all night, running through the different scenarios. No matter the outcome of the fight, his friendship with his cousin seems to be over. Rusty pounds the bed and buries his face in his pillow, crying with frustration. Jake stands in his backyard, trying to keep his mind off the dark feelings that keep overtaking him. He shadowboxes, ducking and weaving between his own jabs against an invisible foe. I don't want to hurt either of them, but when I see them I can't think of anything else. I just have to fight him, and maybe I can pound my frustration out and things will go back to normal. As the next day winds down, the two participants prepare their duel. "Are you really going to fight with him?" asks Amy. "I don't have a choice. He's going insane. I'm not sure what he's capable of." "I don't want to see either of you guys get hurt. I do care about him. I still do. I may not want to be with him, but I don't want him to be hurt either. He's just confused right now." "A confused animal backed into a corner is the most dangerous," says Rusty. "Well, don't get carried away and forget that he's sick. Don't lash out thinking he's in complete control. He needs help. Beating him up is only going to make things worse for him." "Are you saying to let him win?" "Well, maybe that'll give him some kind of closure. Make him realize what he's doing. Snap something resembling sense back into him." Rusty considers this as Amy leaves. Upon reaching her house, Amy sees a small box on her porch with a note taped to it. "Oh God, please don't let this be something bad," thinks Amy, reaching for the box. Amy takes the note and reads it before opening the box. "I'm sorry about your dog. There's no excuse for it. I just hope that you can forgive me. I need some time to think about things, and about myself. So just please leave me alone for a while. No matter what happens, try to think of me the way I was before all of this jealousy. I haven't had much control of my feelings lately. I know that's no excuse. I'm just very sorry." "Jake," whispers Amy, crying. Jake stands in front of his mirror, staring deeply at his own reflection, hating what he sees. "What's going on in here, man? What are you thinking? Why do you keep acting so crazy? I killed her freaking dog like I was Hannibal Lecter or something." "He made me do it." No, Rusty didn't do anything. He tried to tell me he still cared about me, that we were still kin. But he's full of lies. He just wants your trust so that he can screw you over again." Why am I thinking in the third person? What is going on?" Jake stares in the mirror, more confused about himself than ever. A knocking interrupts this confusion, and he goes to the door to answer. "Hi," whispers Jake, trying not to make eye contact. "Thank you," says Amy, holding a small stuffed dog. The contents of the box on her porch. "The real thing's better. I'm sorry I killed your dog. I actually love animals. I don't know what came over me. I just sort of got lost in my anger." She quickly changes the subject, trying to ignore her own anger and the sadness still inside of her. "Are you better now? I mean, have you calmed down and everything?" "I'm just really confused right now. It might be better if you leave. I don't want to do something else. Something that I'd regret if I lose control again." "If you start to lose it, don't forget who you are," says Amy, touching his hand before walking away. "You're a good guy. Just don't be something that you're not." Jake backs up, smiling as things start to seem like they're turning back around for him. But suddenly he feels a sharp pain in his gut and drops to his knees just to see Mitch standing over him. "I'm sorry about this, but I gotta protect my little brother," says Mitch before decking Jake in the face. The blow knocks Jake against his door, cracking it. Jake's vision becomes blurred and red as blood runs down into his eyes. "I saw the cheap shot you gave him yesterday. You need to just chill out. He didn't deserve that. He's just a kid," says Mitch, grabbing Jake by the shirt and throwing him to the grass off the porch. Rusty runs up, seeing Mitch pummeling Jake. Jake hangs limply in Mitch's grip, blood dripping off his face. "What are you doing?" shouts Rusty. "I'm protecting my little brother," Mitch says. "You don't know what you've done. You're going to make him snap again." Jake is unable to concentrate to hear the conversation, but only to see that Rusty is there with Mitch and associates the two as a common cause. "He didn't want to get his hands dirty, huh? That's a new low for you, kid. I was going to back out of my challenge, but now you're going down." Jake looks up at Mitch and spits a mouthful of blood into his face. As Mitch flinches to wipe the blood out of his face, Jake headbutts him in the chest. Mitch stumbles back and Jake lunges into him with a kick to the back of the knee. Mitch falls in pain, grabbing his leg. Jake rears back to punch him in the face, but Rusty catches Jake's arm, holding him back. "Didn't I warn you about touching me?" growls Jake. "Don't hit him, he was only trying to protect me." "Warped sense of protection, considering you're stronger than him." "You have the nerve to talk about warped? Are you starting to come to seeing things the way I do? Nothing ever makes sense, does it?" "Back off him," says Rusty, gripping harder. "Don't order me around." Rusty lets go of him and Jake lowers his arm. "I'll save it for tonight. You better bring your A game," Jake says, walking down the street and vanishing into the shadows. Rusty walks up to the school, escorted by Mitch and Derek. As they reach the school, they see Jake standing in the center of the empty parking lot. "You did show up. I wasn't sure if you would." Derek tugs on his brother's arm. "You don't have to do this. We're family." Jake becomes impatient, folding his arms across his chest. "Did you guys come to back him up?" "We're not taking part in this," Mitch replies, backing up. "He won't need our help beating your ass." "Don't get him riled up. We're trying to talk him down," whispers Rusty. "Save it. There's no turning back now," says Jake. Rusty steps forwards. "You're right. I wish there was another way, but it looks like we can only solve this one way." "I couldn't have said it any better," laughs Jake, lowering into a fighting stance. Mitch and Derek step further back, leaving Rusty and Jake to face off. I don't see why Jake is so bent on fighting Rusty. Our little brother is going to tear him up. "Jake isn't as weak as you think he is," Derek argues. "He's fought and made several of your teammates look bad before." Mitch is unsure what to think. On one hand, he cannot get the image of the smart-ass troublemaker Jake out of his mind. Yet there still exists another, a Jake who stands up against bullies and never seems to show fear. For years, he stood over his brothers and Jake, watching as they mature. He doesn't know why he's never been able to be proud of Jake. There's always been an unease towards him, something that he cannot place his finger on. Now I know why. I knew a long time ago that Jake was no good, Mitch thinks. Rusty and Jake run at each other, their strides closing the gap between them quickly. As they finally clash, feet and fists fly at an amazing pace. Mitch and Derek watch in awe as the two collide in a violent brawl. Rusty nails Jake in the face with a right hook, but Jake counters, kneeing Rusty in the chest. Rusty pivots, kicking Jake in the chest and sending him flying back into the air. Jake throws his weight behind him and lands on his hands and knees, skidding back several feet. "When did he learn how to do that?" Mitch whispers in astonishment. Rusty runs at him as he regains his composure and throws several more punches. Jake blocks the punches with his forearms and throws a hook of his own. Rusty ducks, hitting him with an uppercut to the ribs. Jake coughs in pain, blood dripping from the corners of his mouth. He wipes his mouth and scowls, dropping his elbow under Rusty's extended shoulder. "Is that what the love of a woman's supposed to feel like, cousin?" Jake grins. Rusty screams in pain, his arm hanging limp at his side. Jake backs up, staggering with the effects of Rusty's last blow, still heavy. He takes a deep breath and runs at Rusty, jumping at him with a flying kick. Rusty pivots, dodging the kick and hitting him in the ribs as he passes. Jake is knocked off balance and hits the concrete, rolling several feet. "I don't want to do this," Rusty says as Jake staggers to his feet, his arms and shins skinned in several places and covered in dark, dripping blood. "Just stop this. Can't we go back to the way things were before?" "Not unless you're willing to share that whore of yours with me," Jake says, spitting a mouthful of blood to the ground and smiling. Angered, Rusty runs at him, throwing several dozen punches, with his good arm. Jake backs up, trying to block the attacks, but cannot keep up with his speed for long, and is nailed in the face several times. He staggers and drops to a hand and knee, panting. Blood hangs from his mouth in long strands, collecting on the pavement. "Did I hit a nerve?" Jake asks, looking up only to be punched again. He falls back, skidding across the ground and over the curb onto the grass. Rusty runs after him, and Jake quickly rolls to his feet in time to block his cousin's next assault. Jake feigns right, manages to connect with an uppercut to the left side of Rusty's ribs. The younger teen shouts out in pain before instinctively dropping an elbow. Jake dives to the side in evasion, and Rusty favors his left side with a wince. If I can keep wearing him down with good hits like that, I might be able to prevent him from connecting with anything that damages me, Jake thinks. Steam-like waves rise from Rusty's body, but they are visible only to him and Jake. It suddenly feels much more humid, and he finds it more difficult to catch his breath. Damn it! After all that, he's still as strong as ever, Jake thinks in frustration. A blue glow encircles Rusty's legs, and he launches himself towards Jake. Evading at the last second, Jake still feels the pressure from his cousin's missed strike. The blue glow envelopes Rusty's entire body, and Jake's eyes widen with surprise. Unable to judge his next move, Jake is sent sprawling backwards after taking a right hook to the jaw. Shit! Jake rubs his jaw, knowing that it's likely already beginning to swell. This isn't going so well. Jake speeds at Rusty, delivering a knee to the gut. Rusty strains, both hands on Jake's knee. The other teen is caught by surprise once more, and Rusty throws him backwards. Jake stumbles to regain his balance and suffers a side kick to the chest. Saliva explodes from Jake's mouth, and in his moment of being stunned, Rusty connects with a roundhouse kick to the face. Jake bounces off the nearest slide and collapses to his hands and knees. Strings of blood continue to hang from his lips. He's faster than me, Jake thinks, crawling to his feet, and his attacks have more stopping power. If I can't read his movements, I don't stand a chance. Rusty runs at him again, but this time Jake calms himself and slows his breathing. Watching Rusty's aura, Jake is able to track the concentration of energy and anticipate his movements once again. Rusty stays on the offensive, yet Jake is now able to dodge most of his attacks. "I can't believe how well Jake is doing out there," Mitch says. "I've never seen him fight this well." "You never did give Jake much credit," Derek says. "He's actually a pretty awesome fighter. From what I heard, he dismantled your friends at Colton's party." Mitch scoffs at the idea. "Whatever. He's still a psychopath and a danger to our family. I don't want him coming anywhere near us again, regardless of who wins this fight." "He's still our cousin. So what? A lot of people don't interact with their cousins. Why should we have to make the time for this rage-filled loser?" Jake ducks underneath the jab from Rusty and sweeps the boy's ankles. As he falls, Jake drives an elbow down into his solar plexus. Saliva sprays from Rusty's mouth and his back hits hard on the ground. "Jake, will you ever go back to the way you were?" Derek wonders with sadness. "Is all of this worth the pain you're causing?" They battle backwards into the playground, Rusty backing Jake up to the front of the large slide. Jake blocks with both hands Rusty's attacking fist. Rusty pushes through Jake's defenses, hitting him in the jaw and sending him tumbling back over the side of the slide. Jake hits the ground hard and on his back and screams in pain. Rusty jumps down, landing next to him, and tries to kick him while he's on the ground, but he rolls to the side and kicks Rusty's legs out from underneath him. Rusty falls to his back, and Jake scrambles to his feet first. He runs to the monkey bars and jumps up, grabbing hold and swinging into Rusty, kicking him in the chest. Rusty flies back, his back slamming against the metal bars on the far end. "Now that has got to be what love feels like," Jake laughs, before running at him and throwing a powerful kick. Rusty moves out of the way and turns into him, punching him with his good arm. Jake is knocked back, spinning in the air. Rusty leans against the bars, panting with exhaustion. "What changed in you? You're not even the same person anymore." "Everything changed," Jake growls. "My dad disappeared. They haven't found a trace of him." He slowly stands, staggering in place. Blood covers his face. "Then you come along, and take everything that I had left. My girl, my friends. You turned everyone against me. Rusty slowly walks towards him, limping slightly. Jake bends his knees, wincing in pain as his ribs shoot millions of painful sensations up to his brain. I didn't take anything away from you. Liar! Jake throws a punch, but this time his attack is slowed by his fatigue. Rusty dodges, but he's unable to counter with anything faster, and it too is evaded. Both boys fight to stay conscious from their wounds and exhaustion. Stop it, the both of you! Shouts Amy, running up to them. You're acting like stupid animals. How would you want us to settle this? Coughs Jake. There should be nothing to settle, Amy cries, tears welling up in her eyes. It tears her apart to see the two of her friends fighting. Is that so? Okay, then you tell us why we're fighting, says Jake. You're fighting because of your pride, both of you. Rusty, you need to stop this because you don't have a reason to fight. You have nothing to gain. Jake laughs, holding his ribs in pain. And you have nothing to laugh about. You started all of this. That's why I'd never choose you. You're too jealous and selfish to give me the time I need to sort things out. You made my choice for me. Amy shakes her head, putting her arm around Rusty and leading him off the playground. Grow up, then maybe we could be friends again. Jake coughs, wincing in pain. Her words begin to sink in, and he is left speechless. He drops to his knees, blood running down his face. It wasn't him. It was me all along. I turned everyone against me.